boxing out early, and then when someone beats you to the net, because that'll happen in a hockey game, mistakes are going to be made, just take the stick, and that'll give you your best chance from a puck going in the back of the net.
What's it been like working with him specifically?
I think it's been awesome. I mean, he played a ton of years in the NHL, right? So able to pick his brain, Gio's brain, and all those guys, it's been awesome.
What was your favorite moment, do you think, this week?
Off ice, I'd say the horse. That was pretty shocking. They kind of have that back where I'm from in Wisconsin. I haven't seen it that close up, and when they put the saddle on the colt and it started bucking, that got everybody going back a little bit. So that was pretty cool. And then on ice, I mean, I liked every day. I love to compete. The group, both groups, watching and playing with them, I thought it was great. So.
Who impressed you? Who stood out to you this week?
Honestly, I think everybody did. I don't know if there was one guy. Everybody was working their, butts off. So.
How did you feel about your week?
I felt good. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, but obviously coming here and getting used to it and back in the rhythm of things, it's going to be good. So.
What did you take from the couple pro games you got with the Marlies last year? What really stood out about that experience?
That everyone's bigger than in college for sure. Everything happens at a faster pace, and then it's, everybody competes shift in, shift out, whether against the first line or fourth line. Everybody's going to be the same size, strength. It's, using your mind and getting inside body position, whatnot. The game just happens at a faster pace.
Toronto, the city, how did it make an impression on you?
Definitely a big city, a lot of people here. Honestly, I love it. It's like one of the cleanest big cities ever. When you're just walking around, people are always happy, always want to talk to you. So it's honestly been, a treat to come here. So.
Bit of a culture change, I guess, from a small town.
Yeah, big culture change, and it's been awesome.
Did you run into any of the current Leafs while you've been in town?
Not face to face, just watching, Tanev and Tavares on the ice, seeing them work, and that's been really cool.
What's it like when you see that?
I mean, they're, how old, played how many years in the league, and they look like they're 24, 25, and that's really impressive. And their work ethic in the gym, on the ice, it's been awesome.
What's the focus for you the rest of the summer? What are you working on?
Build that strength, make sure I'm a man coming into the season and give my best shot to make the team and, make an impression.
How do you go about doing that, building the strength?
In the gym. I'll be here all summer, so that'll be really nice to work with, the trainers here and the coaches on the ice and, get a feel of what their system is and, have the strength, the skating, the passing, the mind, jump right into camp, so.
When you heard, did Giordano speak to the entire group this week? What did he talk about?
The big thing was compete, and I thought his story was, incredible considering he was undrafted like myself. So it was really cool to see his journey, his ups and downs, and how he persevered. Ended up being the captain, jumped to different places, even in the expansion draft with Seattle, and then compete. He got to play with some pretty talented players like a Ginla. And just hearing how, they worked and how he worked and, his career ended up what it was. So.
Remember about this week?
I think just putting on the jersey and, all the equipment for the first time, I think that was a pretty cool moment for me. I mentioned it before, just being a Leafs fan growing up. Yeah, putting that stuff on for the first time was a pretty cool experience and something that I'll never forget.
I know some guys are nervous. It didn't look like on the ice you were that nervous. How did you feel this week?
Honestly, I felt pretty good. Like you said, none of those real nerves actually really came out. Once I hit the ice, everybody was really welcoming here. Kind of made me feel kind of at home pretty quick, all the staff and even most of the players. So, it was easy to kind of get into all the, the drills and things like that with, people that are like-minded and trying to achieve the same goals. So felt good, and overall I think it was a pretty solid week.
What's an example of something you learned this week? I know you had seminars, you're on the ice. What's an example of something you picked up this week?
Yeah, well, I think the big thing that, most of the people that came in, special guests like Mark Giordano, Wendell Clark, the biggest thing was, the compete level. I think that's something that you need no matter what level you're going to play at to be successful. You got to have an extremely high compete level. So I think that was one of the big messages that was kind of came across me and most of my peers here. So I think that's something that just keep in the back of your mind when you're playing in season and even in training camp coming up in August. Just being ready for that and bringing the highest compete level that I can.
Was there anyone that stuck out on the ice during this camp to you?
Yeah. Obviously there's Danford's. He's a really solid defenseman. I play against him pretty frequently. Him being in Oshawa, me in Kingston. So he's a solid defenseman. You know, I always have a tough time playing against him. He always seems to shut me down most of the time. So yeah, I think he's one guy that pretty hard to miss. Just a really good player.
What's he do well?
Just kills plays. His gap is really good. Once you hit that blue line, he's coming at you and he's coming at you fast. So, and he has a really good stick as well, which makes it a lot harder for a player to try and get by and not turn that puck over at the blue line, which is a dangerous zone to turn pucks over. So I think that's one of the biggest things. Just so solid defensively.
What was your favorite moment this week?
I think you kind of mentioned earlier the jersey, putting that on for the first time is probably my favorite moment. But I think you just being around everybody here, starting to get to know people that hopefully I'm going to be able to work with in the future.
I know there's some Leafs kind of wandering around. Like, did you have any interactions with the current Leafs or see any of the current Leafs?
Yeah, like we saw Mark Giordano, John Tavares was skating here. I think it was yesterday morning. So we were all here and were able to kind of see him, the work ethic that he brings, the details to his game, things like that. And they touched on that as well in the seminars and stuff like that. With John being here and being able to see him work was something that was pretty cool to see.
What do you notice about a John Tavares skate in July?
It looks like he could play in a world championship game right now, the biggest game you put him in. He looks like he's in great shape, and a lot of people here have touched on how hard he works, and it's pretty clear to see that when you see him on the ice, he's going as hard as he can every rep, and sticking to those little details.
What's the focus for you the rest of the summer? What are you going to be working on, focused on?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is getting bigger and stronger. Even here, I feel the guys are a lot heavier than me, just being younger. I think just putting on a little bit more weight, upper body strength to go into those corners and still be strong and be able to hold on to the puck and make plays. I think that's the biggest thing for me. And then, I think just, working as hard as I can in front of the round and around the net, try and score a little bit more goals as well is always something that we're trying to do. So I think those are kind of the two big things for me going into this off season.
What are you going to remember about this camp?
Just like the group of guys, the friendship and bond we made, like fun group of guys. So we had tons of fun out on the ice and just outside the rink too.
What was your favorite moment?
Just getting back on the ice, Well, we were just we did some team building activities for 3 or 4 days, so it's pretty fun getting back on the ice and playing.
How life-changing has the last week been for you, really, when you take it all in?
It's really life-changing, it was at first it was just a dream just to make it to the big leagues, and I'm one step closer to making it happen, Yeah.
When you look at this development camp as a whole, is there any player on the ice that stuck out to you most?
Yeah, Tyler Hopkins, he's a great guy, great player, really skilled with the puck. And there's also Simon Tassi, he's a pretty small guy, but lots of work ethic and really shifty with the puck.
Do you deal with nerves at a camp like this?
At first, first 2 or 3 days, it was pretty nerve-wracking, being with some older, more experienced guys. But as soon as I settled it in, it kind of went by.
What's an example of something you learned? I know you hear from different speakers off the ice, you're on the ice doing stuff. What's an example of something you learned this week?
No, just puck battles, I have tendencies of falling down a lot. So I learned from one of the coaches just to shift my body a bit so I can be able to brace the impact more.
What was your favorite seminar or guest speaker that you heard from?
Nutritionist, the nutritionist Landon Hong. She at first I thought that after an ice session, you can make up the calories you burned after eating. But I learned that you need to eat before and after, so it was pretty pretty good information that I learned there.
Do you run into any current Leafs or see any current Leafs during this week?
No, not really. I've heard that like John Tavares was on the ice, but I just wasn't there to see that.
What's your focus the rest of the summer?
Just getting bigger and stronger. I'll win like practice on my puck battles and just increase my speed and my feet. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, there was a picture of you on social media holding 6 pucks from a 6-goal game. What's the story behind that?
It was like my U18 year. So like in Ottawa, we didn't have U16, so it's a U18 year. We were playing the Brockville Braves, and I scored 6 goals in a game. So it was pretty big moment. I'd like to thank my teammates there too. They really helped me score most of those goals. So it's pretty exciting.
What do you remember most about that game? Was it just were you feeling really good? Like, what do you remember the most about that game?
Just putting the puck in the back of the net, really. But remember most? I don't really know. It just flew by. Yeah, it just flew by. Yeah.
Were they all past a goalie? Any empty netters, or all legit?
All legit. Yeah.
Of course.